the October 25 regular meeting of the Everett Public Schools Board of Directors.
Director Mitchell, I believe you did the first statement. Should we continue? There was a little bit of cutting in and out. Should we try that one more time for the call to order?
Because I called the board's meeting, or Jen, do you want to take over?
I think I'll just repeat what I believe you had said, that the October 28th, 2025 meeting of the Everett Public Schools Board of Directors is hereby called to order. And I'll continue. Will the secretary please call the roll? And after this, we can continue to try again.
I can call the roll if you like.
Okay, let me start with the land acknowledgement. Okay. We acknowledge the original inhabitants of this area, the Stahobes people, and their successors, the Tulalip tribes. Since time immemorial, they have hunted, fished, gathered on, and taken care of these lands and waters. We respect their sovereignty, their right to self-determination, and honor their sacred spiritual connection with the land and water. In Everett Public Schools, we strive to create equitable outcomes and build a culture of inclusive belonging for all students, teachers, staff, and community.
Thank you. And hopefully it's coming clear now. Can we please stand for the flag salute?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And that takes us to the roll call. Will the secretary please call the roll?
President Mitchell.
Present.
Vice President Herman.
Present.
Director Revelinsky.
Present.
Director Atkins. Director Lawrence.
Present.
Student Representative Covarrubias.
Present.
And Student Representative Dewing.
Present.
Thank you. And that takes us to section 5.0, adoption of the agenda. Dr. Saltzman, have there been any changes to the agenda since it was first published?
Yes, Madam Chair, since publishing, the following changes have been made. Item 5.01, the adoption of the agenda, the timing sheet was updated. And item 11.09, approval of surplus instructional and library materials, the list was updated. Thank you kindly.
And is adoption, is there any objection to the agenda being adopted by general consent? Hearing none, the agenda is adopted by general consent. That takes us to recognition of the National Blue Ribbon Scholar, and I am so sad I cannot be there. Dr. Wood.
Thank you very much, President Mitchell, board members, student representatives, Dr. Saltzman, and the community. It is my pleasure to recognize Whittier Elementary School and its principal, Tony Wentworth, and I believe Mr. Wentworth is in the room and should come right up here. I'm going to give you a little bit of background about the Blue Ribbon Schools. Only about 1% of public schools in the United States ever qualify for this recognition. It is one of our nation's highest honors in education. And it is awarded for overall academic excellence or progress in closing achievement gaps. And I can tell you that Whittier Elementary School qualifies under both those conditions. In Washington, the Office of Superintendent of Public Instruction nominates schools each year based on assessment data and overall performance. And this year, they were able to nominate only 7 schools. Whittier's nomination placed it among the top performing schools in the state and in the nation, and makes it the first Everett Public School to earn this distinction. Principal Wentworth first learned of the award and that his school, Whittier Elementary School, was nominated for the award in February of 2025. And then final confirmation after really a lot of work to do the whole application process. If you've applied for a recognition in the past, you know what an arduous process that is. It's also really rewarding because he really got to think about reflect upon the greatness that is at Whittier. And so he received confirmation from the U.S. Department of Education on August 20th that indeed Whittier would be awarded the Blue Ribbon School Award. And then on September 15th, he received word from the Blue Ribbon program that the federal administration had cut the program effective immediately. So communication about the change had been set to state education departments. So while the U.S. Department of Education has discontinued the program in August, we know that Whittier Elementary School has earned this award. They'd been nominated, completed the application process, and received final confirmation of the award. So we are recognizing Tony Wentworth for his exemplary leadership and dedication for championing Whittier Elementary School to achieve the distinguished honor of earning recognition as a National Blue Ribbon School, the first in Everett Public Schools history. So I have a certificate for Mr. Wentworth, signed by all the board members. Congratulations, Tony. And to place in his school, and I'm going to ask you to help me with this, Mr. Wentworth, there's a banner. Let's do it this way. Here, let's show the board, and then we'll turn around and show the audience.
Congratulations.
Well, congratulations, and I'm so glad that we could be recognize that school. So much accomplishment, so much accomplished there, and congratulations, Mr. Wentworth, as well as for your school. And do you have anything you want to say?
Yes, I just want to say thank you to the board, the district, all the support staff within the district, the Whittier and the Whittier staff, who this is a collective award. And I also think back to the years in building this, because this took time. The foundation of this work was built years ago, and I think of even staff. We had 2 waves of retiring staff members that they're a part of this as well that aren't at Whittier anymore, but the foundation was built, and the leadership skills, the capabilities to guide this to Whittier into the future was handed over to our current staff, and that, along with the support from the district to make this happen, it was a full team effort. So thank you to everyone, as well as our students. Students are unbelievable because they're the ones that put in the work, and they have to perform, and the results are based on their effort, their energy to do their best, and then the Whittier families as well, which is, it is a community effort also to get these types of results. We couldn't do it without the families and partnership with the entire North Everett community. So thank you.
Congratulations. That takes us to section 7.01, the superintendent report. Dr. Saltzman.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and to the public this evening, and to the board of directors, thank you. Again, Tony, and to the Whittier family, congratulations, so well deserved, okay, and to your students and everybody, well deserved. Well, we have some historic achievement to announce tonight to our public. The district's four-year on-time graduation rate for the class of 2025 has reached 96.3%, and that's an awesome accomplishment. Congratulations to everybody in our district family from pre-K to 12. It all ends there at 96.3, so it's the highest graduation rate in our district history. Salutes to everybody. It also continues to model for our state of Washington. So I want to thank the students, teachers, staff, administrators, and families for their unstoppable dedication for student achievement. Outstanding. I also want to share with you tonight, many of you might know, but I want to just publicly say it again, that Cascade High School is now a candidate school for the International Baccalaureate Program, or also known as the IB Diploma Program. Last week, we held an informational night at Cascade for students and families to learn more about it. We had more than 100 people in attendance. We're very excited about that. Now we're bringing that information to our entire middle school community. These upcoming sessions will give families a chance to learn more about the program, what makes IB unique, and how it prepares students for success in high school and beyond. Each of our middle schools will host an information night over the next 2 months, but the first event coming up is on November 12th at Gateway Middle School. So we're very excited about that, and for our community, please come to those events so you learn more about it. We are excited to celebrate the opening of the new school-based health centers that will also be at Cascade and Everett High School. Ribbon cutting ceremonies will take place this week. Cascade's ceremony will be held on Wednesday, October 29th. Everett High School's event will be held on Thursday, October 30th. Both events will begin at 2:30 p.m. With support from state funding. Everett Public Schools partner with the Community Health Center of Snohomish County to bring these school-based health centers to our students. Director of Student Services, Mr. Dave Peters, led the effort for our district in making this happen. I want to thank Dave and Deputy Peter Scott for their incredible work on this, and for our school board directors that helped us get this idea off the ground and to share with our community something that's innovative and needed for our students. So thank you, Board of Directors. Both centers are now open to our students, providing free on-site services that support their health and learning. So we're very excited about that. I also want to invite our community to join us in our Let's Connect event. We have a Let's Connect event coming up to learn more about the construction and bond and education levy for 2026. District leaders will share details about the proposed projects, costs, and how these measures would support our students and schools. Also, you'll hear more about the timeline, how this all began. This was a lot of work in the making for over a year. This first event will be held on Wednesday, November 6th, from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., again in the Cascade School Library. So Cascade is hosting a lot of events for us. They're in the central part of the district. So please mark your calendars for November 6th, and we hope to see everybody there. This concludes my report this evening. I want to wish all our students a safe Halloween on Friday night. Please be safe out there and enjoy the moments, but if you are trick-or-treating, please be safe. Your safety matters to all of us. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Dr. Saltzman. And I am so proud of those graduation rates as well. So now it takes us to board and student comments. I'm going to start with Director Herman. And Director Herman, would you mind moving it along the dais after you're finished, and then everybody can move to the next person?
Yeah, that sounds good. Good evening, everyone. For my report tonight, a few things since the last meeting. I was able to attend the Mill Creek Instructional Review, and as a school director, as I've said in the past, being able to see classrooms in action and see the student supports in place allows us as school directors to speak about what we're seeing in the schools and understand what's really going on and seeing those best practices, so that when we're out in the community, we can speak confidently about that. Mill Creek Elementary just has some fantastic things going on. It's terrific to see. And then tomorrow I'll be at Woodside for their IR, so looking forward to that. A couple weeks ago, I was able to attend the High School and Beyond event at Jackson High School, a great resource event for high school students and families as students look ahead to making their post-secondary plans, and also for students just beginning high school to learn about some options they can participate in, such as the ORCA program. ORCA stands for Ocean Research College Academy, and similar to other Running Start programs, where students can earn up to 2 years of college credit while completing their high school graduation requirements. So one of the great programs that exists out there. So these High School and Beyond events are great whether your student is just starting high school or in their senior year. And if you can't make one at your home high school, I would encourage you to attend one at one of the other high schools. Also, since our last meeting, I had the opportunity to speak at this year's Washington State PTA Legislative Assembly down in Seattle and participate on a panel discussion along with several other school directors from around the state on our role as school directors, challenges we're facing in education, and advice and encouragement on how PTAs can positively engage with their own school boards. So that was a really nice opportunity. And lastly, I just want to thank community members that have filled out the survey on the strategic plan refresh to help guide our district work going forward. The link is found on the district website and it ends this Friday. And as of this morning, I saw that we had over 7,000 participants and some really thoughtful comments. So I'll be interested to see the final results on that. Yeah. A lot going on these days, but that concludes my comments for this evening. So I'll pass it to Director Revelinsky.
Okay, not much for me. Congratulations to Whittier and Mr. Wentworth and all the teachers and staff at Whittier. I know it takes, everybody's firing on all cylinders there. All of my kids' favorite teachers are from Whittier, Mrs. Zaki, Mrs. Fleischman, and Mr. Storla. So thank you, congratulations, you deserve it. I would also, in the consent agenda is a gift from the Blue and Gold Club to Everett High School. I would like to thank the Blue and Gold Club. And I haven't done much, but I did attend the WASA Snow Isle Region 109 Legislative Forum. Or not Snow Isle, sorry, just WASA Region 109, where a number of state representatives and senators came to hear from the administration of a number of school districts, Representative Lauren Davis, Representative Fossey, Senator John Lovick, Representative Cindy Rue, Senator Jesse Solomon. We're all in attendance, and I thought it was a great session where we heard from a number of superintendents, and I think, unfortunately, it seemed to be a little bit of a precursor to a challenging legislative session. Some of the lawmakers were tentative about support for additional school funding, and so I think this legislative session, we're going to have to work really hard. And that's it for me.
I also attended the WASA meeting on Thursday last week, and it was interesting. It was the first meeting I had gone to, and this year they're going to be advocating for full funding of basic education, specifically materials, supplies, and operating costs, special education, and student transportation. The event was well attended by other districts, and as you had mentioned, Roman, about the legislative representatives, there were quite a few, and it was really well attended. And then today, I went for my first instructional review at Everett High School. I was greeted with a tasty latte made by students. There were I went to a couple of math classes and a couple of English classes. It was great to see the students divided into small groups and collaboratively working together to solve problems and think through issues. The teachers engaged the students by asking them thought-provoking questions and having the students explain their answers. It was just terrific to be in the classrooms and watch students learn. So thank you.
I don't have much, but today was the last day where we got to plan stuff for the Day of the Dead. And it was an interesting thing because I was in the slideshow for it, and I was definitely very red-faced throughout the whole thing. And just, yeah. And also congrats to the board for getting the new bond. It's just amazing all you guys do for us. And also congrats to Whittier for the blue ribbon, and just happy Halloween. I'm a little early, but
Today at Cascade, there hasn't been too much new happening, but I wanted to mention in my anatomy class today, it was a great opportunity. One of the staff members of the new community health center were able to come in and talk to my class about like how to utilize the different resources there that are available. And they were helping kids get like set up and registered with the health center, which was really awesome to see. And they were talking about how they already have like appointments filled in and everything with the health center. So it's great to see it's already like taking off, and they're coming out and reaching out to the students, which is great.
Great, thank you. Well, I want to recognize Student Representative Covarrubias. When I arrived here in San Francisco, there's a big display for Day of the Dead, and I thought of you completely. And there's little notes for people to remember. People buy Post-it notes or surrounding it. I am very excited to be at the opening of the 2 health centers this week, and so very thankful for the legislature, Mr. Peters, and everything else in the Sonoma County, for everyone that is coordinating to help our students with their health at both of those 2 high schools. So thank you so much. So this takes us on to audience comments, and I'm going to pass it over to you, Director Herman, as I am not present to see everything that's happening. So thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, so for section 9.0, public comment, I believe we have 1 public comment this evening. The school board sets aside 15 minutes during regular school board meetings to hear from our constituents. We do this because we value public input and want to hear and understand the perspectives you bring to the table. Each speaker has 3 minutes. We have the responsibility to ensure that at our board meetings, we conduct district business in public. We do this in an orderly, productive, and respectful manner. We welcome ideas and opinions presented in that same manner. For our public speakers, we will call on speakers in the order in which you signed up to speak tonight. And we have a veteran, I would say, who is signed up for public comments tonight, so probably doesn't need all of this instruction, but I will go ahead and read it. The lights on the podium will help keep track of the time. It will start with the green light, and then the yellow light comes on. That means that there are 30 seconds left, and then the red light indicates that the time has finished. All comments are recorded, so the board will have access to everything said tonight. The public comments part of the agenda is for the board to listen to what you have to say. It is not for debate or discussion. Board members do not respond to individual comments, but a written response will be sent to you if you had requested one. And so just to confirm with Dr. Saltzman, is it accurate that there is only 1 public comment this
Yes,
evening?
Madam Chair. Madam Vice Chair, yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, at this time, I'd like to call Mr. Ed Peterson up to the podium, who is going to speak on affordable housing and school district collaboration. Good to have you here.
Thank you very much. I am so delighted to be here. This is a very special place for me. I spent 8 years on the school board, and my very last meeting was December 13, 2013, at this location, after having spent 7 and the rest of the year at the old site. And I'm just so proud and so pleased at what I see happening every time I come to one of these meetings in this special room. I'm here today for a specific purpose related to the merging of and collaboration of public education with affordable housing. I should set for the record, my name is Ed Peterson. I live in Everett. I have myself and 3 brothers and 3 daughters who are Everett Public Schools graduates and proud graduates, and doing well in the world. So we're really proud of the accomplishments of the school district, and congratulations on the 96.3% graduation rate. Glad to see the students here. I got to create the mechanism for students to participate on the board many years ago, and I'm glad to see it still is an important part of the district. The state, I'm the president of the Everett Station District Alliance, a nonprofit corporation created in 2017 to build a better neighborhood around our transit center. And I have with me the executive director of ESDA, which is Brock Howell. Brock is the executive director and has been leading the organization for the last 6 years. And we have recently expanded beyond neighborhood development at the Everett Station to a second neighborhood, which is the Casino Road area, and into real estate development, particularly focused on affordable housing. It seems that the legislature very much wants affordable housing agencies and school districts to collaborate and have put additional incentives in place through the State Housing Trust Fund for financing for projects in which this collaboration exists. A couple of weeks ago, I met with staff and received a warm welcome and an enthusiastic agreement to put this opportunity in front of the school board. The legislature requires that certain steps be taken in order to incentivize the funding of these projects through the State Housing Trust Fund. And the first one was that we have a presentation at a school, the first school board meeting after we submit an application for funding for such a project. October 16th, we submitted our application to the city of Everett. And so this is the first school board meeting since then, which is why this has been put on the agenda. Thank you very much to the active support of staff who are going to be making a presentation to you on the project itself later in the agenda. So thank you so much. I think my time has expired. So I also want to congratulate the Whittier people, because my 3 girls went to Whittier Elementary School, and it's been really a great place for kids. I can attest to that, and congratulate the school district on the accomplishment, which is very amazing.
Thank you,
So
Mr.
thank you for
Peterson.
having me today.
Thank you for being here. Director Mitchell, that concludes public comment. There we go. I was a little confused with the yellow and the red. Thank you.
Yeah, that's just fine. Thank you so much for handling that. And thank you, Mr. Peterson. Usually we don't comment, but we're very happy to do this. This takes us on to section 11.0, the consent agenda. Dr. Saltzman, have you received any questions about the consent agenda since it was published?
Thank you, Madam Chair. In the case of this consent agenda, the superintendent's office received no questions regarding items on the consent agenda.
Okay, thank you. First, does any director wish to remove an item from the consent agenda and place it in the new business section of the agenda? Okay, I did not hear anything. So now, is there any objection to adopting the agenda by general consent?
No.
I heard nothing. So the agenda is adopted by general consent. Thank you so much. Excuse me, the consent agenda is adopted by general consent. That takes us on to section, 12.0 strategic. Oops, I skipped over something. I apologize. Before the consent agenda, I should have done legislative updates, section 10.0. There are none for this meeting. So now that takes us to section 12.0, strategic progress monitoring. And Mr. Beckley, I believe you have a technology plan update for us.
Yes. Good evening, President Mitchell, fellow Board of Directors, Dr. Saltzman. It's my pleasure tonight to share with you an update on the Integrated Technology Plan. The theme this year is Together We Inspire, Achieve, and Thrive. And there is a through line from this theme to the purpose and the goal of the technology plan that enables our district to advance into the future with the tools and the knowledge needed for how to use them and support our students in their learning. My goal for you tonight would be for you to learn more about the Integrated Technology Plan and what makes it unique and special. Its intentionality around the plan focused on student priority outcomes, its demonstration of forward thinking and preparedness, as well as how we utilize for what we know about and what we're able to shift when necessary, where there's flexibility and capacity for when new technology emerges, and why what we do and fulfill our commitments to our families. The purpose of the plan emphasizes that it is not just about acquiring technology to have technology. It is about the intentional changes that are specific and aligned in both our hardware and our software. It is coordinated that when we undertake a project and we purchase it, it is always in support of the technology plan that is aligned to our strategic plan. This work is vital to prepare our graduates for the workforce in the 21st century and to provide our teachers and support staff with the tools they need. You're going to hear tonight a clear focus this past year on preparing for and launching Synergy as one of the largest projects we've engaged in. The first version of the plan was adopted in 2016 as part of the technology levy when our district transitioned to the one-to-one program for our students and staff. It was updated in 2022 as part of the levy renewal, and that is what we are currently following. This the plan demonstrates the thoughtful and intentional planning that went into the development of the plan and the action items within it to utilize the funds that were provided by the levy. It is organized around 6 goal areas that you see highlighted on this slide. The plan is the framework for implementing the $96 million 2022 capital levy. And I again would like to express our gratitude to our community for their support of that 2022 capital technology levy, because it is what funds all of their technology initiatives across the district. We received these funds over the course of 6 years, and we use these resources to purchase technology that is needed. We pride ourselves on being good fiscal stewards, and this plan, being very intentional and thoughtful, demonstrates our commitment to our families in a very transparent and strategic way about how we're utilizing these funds. And what you'll learn about tonight and hear about is some highlights of the components around those 6 goal areas that showcase our progress. The plan is woven into our strategic plan. In each of the goal and action items, there is a connection to the strategic plan and the student priority outcomes. It's connected to and drives the work of the technology plan, and I've attached in board docs the current plan, and you can see how for each of the action items, there's a link to the strategic plan. The plan is our foundation, and all we do is in support of the strategic plan, and it anchors back to those student achievement indicators. So how does the action items with the integrated tech plan and our work in technology impact student learning? I shared with you last year this Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which reflects the order of human needs and that motivates them to act or do things in a certain way. In education, we always think about this in its relationship to learning. In general, if a student's basic needs are met for food and shelter, they're more able to focus on learning. In technology, we have a similar hierarchy. At the basic level, technology needs to work and create a safe environment that protects our systems and our data. With the launch of Synergy this year, a lot of our focus has been at the basic level. We've had to ensure that it's functional, that our staff know how to use all of its features, but also testing things out to make sure that they're reliable, that they do what we need it for it to be able to do and fix when necessary. Our network and customer service teams provide us that safe and secure access to the internet that's reliable so that the data smoothly flows to the hundreds of digital tools that we have. And once those basic technology needs are met, we then gain proficiency and we continue to support them as they move up that hierarchy into being more learning to be proficient as they learn new skills, to be more innovative, more creative, that pushes our system. And that continues to be part of our work as we move through this project of implementing Synergy, but also learning and implementing other digital tools along the way. So let's get started with kind of looking at some of these 6 goal areas. I'd like to start with infrastructure and cybersecurity. And this is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, so it's a good place to start. It's the foundation of our network. It's the foundation of our plan. And it's our team works to create that solid foundation, to have a safe and reliable and secure infrastructure that's built into the technology plan. It's a priority for our work to ensure that we have that solid infrastructure. That includes keeping network switches. You see several things listed here, but keeping network switches replaced, keeping them updated with updated operating systems, migrating to new servers when that's needed. We also reinforce our network and we add security features that limits our exposure to cyber events. This includes our recent replacement of our firewall, as well as added features with our internet filter. That's LineWise is the name of our filter. We also provide upgrades to existing systems to ensure that we have adequate speed and processing while staying secure. The partnership with the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency is one I'd like to highlight because they are a great partner for us. They continue to scan our network and share with us alerts that we need to address, and we meet with them and connect with them weekly to do so. I'll add that many of the items that you see listed in this slide are examples of areas that the bond proposal that is coming up in February that has technology items. Many of these types of things would be things that the bond could address for us to continue. Having a functional and reliable technology also needs to mean we need to maintain a lifecycle management program. This plan is forward-thinking and ensures that our new devices have enough processing power to run emerging technologies, ones that we don't even know exist yet. We've replaced all of our school and department desktop computers with the help of our summer workers. For students, we replaced all of the devices at Everett and Sequoia High Schools. We updated all of our Chromebooks at the elementary level and prepared our middle school Chromebooks for checkout as the start of the year. With all of these updates on our personal computers, we are now running Windows 11. The strategic initiative to create a classroom standard has been operational in the strategic plan, but in the technology plan, we ensure that we keep this updated and viable. We replaced all of the document cameras in classrooms this year and made sure it has improved integration with the classroom computer as well as the panels, and you see that pictured on this slide. Along with these document cameras, we replaced all of the classroom presentation station computers that are more powerful and have increased storage. And you can see pictured on this slide what a classroom kit in the classroom looks like. Responding to teachers and paraeducators' feedback, we selected a replacement laptop for them to use that has just started to be deployed this month with a larger screen, more power, and more storage. The plan is to have this fully deployed in the hands of staff by the beginning of December. We have amazing teachers in our district. The interactive flat panels are an example of how our staff have moved higher up the technology hierarchy from proficient and creative. With the training and support of our team, we see teachers moving increasingly beyond just using the panel as a replacement to their projector. They are using them to be interactive, to be engaging in activities to support classroom instruction. They are preparing curriculum resources that are developed to more fully utilize the panel's functionality as an interactive tool. We see examples in the classrooms of our teachers using instructional strategies that would not be possible without the use of this technology tool. I've highlighted some quotes from some teachers that illustrate how they might be using them to impact student learning. At the elementary level, which you see pictured on this slide, this could look like teachers using the panels as a shared workspace. With showing their students' work that they can show off with their peers, so to speak. Students can show their learning and its process using the tools to be able to do that. For math, they can interact with each other's work and solve problems together. At the secondary level, it could look a little bit different, where students can model examples and project from their laptop to the panel while still working in groups. Also, the teacher can mirror and we see the teachers mirroring from their computer to the students' devices as a way of making sure that everyone can see what is happening in the room. Things that would not be possible for them to do. And we see increasingly teachers seizing on this technology as a way of modeling its use in the classroom. We provide continuous just-in-time support and model and train for technology-enhanced instructional approaches, but a significant amount of our work and focus this last year has been on the launch of Synergy, as I mentioned. Much of the preparation and training for that support has been focused. We are excited about this software, that will enable schools to manage student information more efficiently as we move into using it more. This slide outlines the number of hours that our team has spent in project planning, preparation, and training this past year to get ready for the launch. Over 2,700 hours, as we estimate, of time that we used to get ready for the training and the launch. We had weekly project meetings with our partners at Synergy. We had trainings with Synergy for us to learn how to use these tools. The special services team joined us, and our assessment team joined us in those learnings as well. Meeting with departments internally. Then after we learned about those things, we designed and built documentation and training for us to use with our teachers and resources for staff. And then a big chunk of our time was converting that over 8 rounds from eSchools into Synergy. And that was also built into the training plan that we needed to get ready for. The over 2,000 users in our system needed to learn various aspects of Synergy that pertain to their role. To do that, we created a training plan that was varied to ensure all learning styles were supported. It focused on developing a personalized pathway so every staff member knew exactly what parts they needed to be trained on based on their job and their role. We made sure to vary our learning. Everybody's learning style is different, so we varied the approach. Sometimes it was in person with a trainer, sometimes it was working independently with an online course, sometimes it was like a hybrid. There was some of both, a combination. Regardless, we made sure to provide choice in dates, times, and locations for in-person sessions to best fit their staff members' schedules and the needs of their building. The picture on this slide is an example of one of these in-person training sessions as we were training on report cards and gradebook. These resources were dynamic, they were by video, they were slides, there was documentation that we provided, there was a guide me that we provided, they were online. All the staff continue, the nice thing about these resources is that they continue to be available, so we have staff going back and referencing them. They're always live for them to be able to access. And then we made sure to think of ways we could reward staff, so we developed like a Synergy badge. This is an example of the teacher view badge that a teacher would earn as they finished all of the training modules. You can see a picture of an example of what that would look like. Using the hierarchy of technology needs, we know we need to ensure that we are building in training and for the technology to be usable and for staff to be proficient. We continue to provide the ongoing support and regular professional development with the integration with content. And much of the professional development in our plan this year has been, again, on this learning about the new student information system. All of that preparation you saw in the pie chart, that was in preparation for us to be able to do this training. That was our foundation. This included training the building teacher leaders who would be doing the training with the staff during their learning improvement days in August. And look at what our amazing teachers, administrators, office staff, and paraeducators committed to in this training plan. With their time and their learning, they engaged with us this year. Just truly amazing. We utilized the time as best we could during scheduled meetings such as the annual office professionals meeting, our EPS Learns, monthly office professionals meetings. We offer times in the summer for teachers to get an early start in setting up their gradebook, drop-in sessions, on-site refreshers, on-site support. We manage a Synergy hotline for people to call during the day if they need support. I'd like to shift a little bit because the plan talks about being responsive and talk a little bit about artificial intelligence and the work we've been doing along the way this past year. Now, the technology plan did not specifically name and call out action items with artificial intelligence, but it did include language around how we can be innovative, supportive, and flexible, because it's hard to predict technology over a 6-year period of time. So we wanted to make sure that it was nimble enough to be flexible. The Artificial Intelligence Committee that focused this last year in helping us make a recommendation for a district-approved AI tool that could be used by both staff and students. This was Magic School. We've got this in our Managed Bookmarks, and we use a single sign-on for ease of access for our staff. Also, we continue to have our working agreement with Colleague AI as a staff resource. Both of these are behind what we call a walled garden, which means it keeps our staff and students' information secure and contained. This year, the committee is focused on how to effectively implement and launch this tool to support the 4 pillars. We've updated our policies and procedures, and in partnership with our Technology Advisory Council, adopted that AI handbook for staff and keep our resources updated on the Canvas portal. To start this year, we expanded the number of teachers and paraeducators on this committee to ensure we had a quality cross-section of instructional staff from all levels. This year, we'll be working on creating communication to use with parents and resources, communication to use with staff, and communication to use with students as well. This includes ethical use and digital citizenship units to align our district policies and procedures to its proper use. And we make sure that all of our digital tools continue to have that review process. Along with the AI committee, this year, we are using our teachers to guide what we call the AI leadership cohort. It is teachers that are piloting the use of AI in the classroom to lead the work, to then lead the work in their schools, similar to the train the trainer model that we use with Synergy. We have an elementary and we have a secondary cohort, and their focus is trying to work together to enhance their toolbox of skills, to collaborate with each other, to collect data on how AI is impacting learning, and sharing ideas with each other about it as they're utilizing it in the classroom. And you see pictured on this slide examples of both our elementary and our secondary cohorts that have started to meet this year. With both the AI committee and the leadership cohort, these groups have combined with over 60 staff members working to create a thoughtful, strategic, and safe path forward with AI in our schools. And that nice representation of teaching staff across the district gives us that practitioner voice and input. Another key component of the plan is outreach and community engagement. And you see on this slide some examples of how we have been accomplishing that this year. As an example, teacher technology tools such as Parent View and Go Guardian Parent are available to our families as a way of keeping our parents connected to how their child's doing in school. Parent View enables parents to view and track their students' academic progress, attendance, school-related information. Go Guardian Parent provides insight and monitoring tools for parents to monitor their child's online activity on their school-issued Chromebook. We attend curriculum nights to make sure we can support parents in how to set up these tools, and we have staff available to support them as well. And we want to ensure that students, no matter their situation, can connect to the internet, so we continue to provide hotspots for our students. The community and family engagement goal area is a great example of our strong partnership and collaboration we have with departments and schools. And one example is that Let's Connect event we had in early 2025 that you see pictured on this slide, where we talked to our families about AI in our schools. What we heard from them, and we use this feedback to continue to guide our work, is that data privacy and security with AI was top of mind. And so we make sure to use that as a foundation. And we heard loud and clear from our parents as we taught them a little bit more about AI in schools. We gave them some engaging activities and listened to their feedback, and that guides our work. We also use that feedback from our customers, which are our families and our staff, to make sure we're meeting their needs. And the tool we use to use this is called OnFlow. You are probably more familiar with its previous name, which was Let's Talk. They recently changed their name. And this slide is the dashboard of feedback from parent calls and tickets that come into our department. This dashboard provides us with live data on how we are doing and supporting our families. On the slide, I'll just kind of walk you through it real quick. On the slide in the top left corner, you see the number of tickets received by parents on whatever date I viewed it. So this was a few days ago. The CX score is the overall customer satisfaction on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, following that interaction we've had with them. In the positive experiences box are the people who provided along with the rating, an actual specific comment and a narrative that they could give us feedback on, some sort of narrative. The ticket age is how much time a parent ticket takes before it's addressed by our team. And we internally have, like, all of our tickets need to be, we have a goal that we want to make sure we hit. In this case, on this date, this is tickets on average are there less than a day, half a day before we've addressed it and worked with those families to get it resolved. And we review this feedback regularly as a way to make sure we're meeting our customers, in this case, our parents and community, the needs they have in getting support with technology. So I'm happy to share what we've accomplished. I just want to mention briefly about some of the next steps so you can sort of see what's ahead under what we're working on this school year. So we'll continue to make lifecycle management for both student computers at the high schools and our libraries a priority. This year, we'll be working with our friends and partners in communications on launching our new website, Final Site. And they'll be preparing for this launch and then training our webmasters. We'll be looking at a solution for our secondary schools for voice amplification to use in classrooms and in libraries. As well, we are working on an easier login process, especially for our primary grades. Trying to remember a password when you're in kindergarten can be challenging. So there's a badging process through Clever that we want to be able to use, and we're testing out currently to be able to launch this year. And we need to make sure we continue, it'll always be a priority. I want to assure the board a strong network at our core. So continuing to build those redundancies and strengthen between our network hubs so we minimize downtime. And there will be some specific next steps with Synergy. And I just outline here that Synergy, we launched several of the tools this year to get started, but there'll be some ongoing training and support, and we'll be adding some new features as we move through. So we're going to learn about how to do report cards in Synergy, how to do student conferences in Synergy, how to build a master schedule learning in Synergy. So that will be all new learning that takes place throughout the year. And we're going to learn about some new tools and onboard some new tools like Hall Pass and our emergency response reunification module, as well as our early warning system that's built into MTSS, along with analytics and assessment. So there'll always be, as we continue to onboard, some new learning and some new support that is needed. All along the way, our professional learning will be for stakeholders that will continue to occur as we walk through this together. So I hope what you've learned about today demonstrates our continued commitment to our school board, our community, Dr. Saltzman, our leaders, that we are intentional about making sure that we use the funds entrusted to us, that our commitment to support student learning, about the capital technology levy, learn a little bit more about the plan, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Beckley. I hope everybody can hear me okay, because I do not want to lose you, but I wish I had better Wi-Fi here in the Alaska Lounge. Are there any questions?
I have a question. This is Director Herman. First of all, thanks for all this information. On the parent view, student view, and teacher view, can you remind me again, is Canvas going to be linked to the teacher view ultimately?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we continue to work on that integration. That's one of the advantages, is that Canvas is integrating with Synergy.
Okay,
So,
right.
yeah.
So the next steps there. And as you mentioned, safety is such a priority for families out there, especially online safety. And you had talked about that in your presentation. Could you just talk a little bit more about CISA and those sort of weekly checks that are done?
Yes, so CISA is part of the Department of Homeland Security, and they are it is free resource for districts to be able to use, and they are our partners. They scan our network, and then we get a report. Sometimes the reports we get are proactive reports, like, hey, we heard about this event somewhere, be looking out for A, B, or C, and we can do some internal looking. Other times they scan our network and they show some things that we need to make sure we look out for, or maybe some addresses we need to make sure we block, or some traffic they're noticing that try to avoid problems from occurring because they're known vulnerabilities somewhere in the world. And so that has been a great resource, and we get a weekly report from them. We hear alerts in between, but we do get a weekly report from them that we then can address.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been great.
Questions or discussion?
I just want to say that I love Synergy. Like, it has been so helpful. Like, before I would have to like print the unofficial transcript or just ask everyone like the information that I needed, and now I can do it all by myself, and that's just amazing.
That's great. That's good to hear. Okay, thank you.
On to information discussion is our Learning Improvement Day Spotlight. And Dr. Scott?
Yes, thank you. Well, good evening, President Mitchell, Board of Directors, Dr. Saltzman, and student representatives. It's our privilege tonight to offer a brief spotlight on the Learning Improvement Days. And what we want to do here this evening is to answer some of the frequently asked questions that might be top of mind, especially for the community or maybe for you. In tapping into that, have you ever wondered about the Learning Improvement Days? So we're going to try to step up to that challenge. Have you ever wondered what happens on a Learning Improvement Day, how they're designed, and the impact they have on supporting students and families in the district? We've got tonight our Director of Professional Learning, Mimi Brown, along with Joy Grant, who's our Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And they are chief architects of the design for the October Learning Improvement Day in particular. So they'll unpack a little bit what goes on behind the scenes and being brought into light this evening. So I will welcome up Mimi. And Joy.
Hi, thank you. We are excited to share about the Learning Improvement Days, or LID, as you will hear us refer to them. The purpose is to provide a dedicated time of engaging staff in professional development aimed at our common vision of improving student outcomes. We know what we do for adults, we do for our students as well. Providing high-quality professional learning increases opportunities for students. You may have noticed I said days. 2 Learning Improvement Days occur in August before school starts. This year it was August 25th and 26th. These are led by principals and their leadership teams and attended by teachers and paraprofessionals, focused on launching the school year strong, really focused on our strategic priorities, launching the school year with a supportive culture, effective instruction, equitable access, and investing really in our human capital. Traditionally in Everett Public Schools, the 3rd Learning Improvement Day occurs in the 2nd Friday of October. These days build on each other, but October is unique in the attendance and the focus. Joy's going to drill down into some specifics on the Learning Improvement Day we just had on October 10th.
Thank you, Mimi. Well, who attends and who is in our audience? All employees. We're talking about our certificated staff as well as our classified staff. Our certificated staff includes our administrators and our directors. Our classified staff includes our paraeducators, custodial, safety and security, our office professionals, transportation, food and nutrition services, as well as our CRC departments. Close to 2,600 employees. We're all learning and engaging around the same goals and vision. It's a powerful day in Everett Public Schools.
It is, Joy. Here in Everett, we have focused on equity and social emotional learning before it was a state requirement. We follow OSPI's cadence of alternating the focus each year. We annually have common segments that sometimes unite us physically, as you might have remembered at the Angel Over Winds Arena with a guest speaker, but it always unites us in our common vision and learning for student outcomes. How do we accomplish our Learning Improvement Day? A little peek behind the scenes. We centrally scaffold the day. This planner demonstrates a portion of the scaffolds that leaders receive to lead locally. We develop a common frame and start to prepare for this in the spring. Here you will see a planner that is provided to all buildings and departments. This frame or planner provides the vision, the timeline of communication, support opportunities, outcomes, and especially lots of materials, including a common PowerPoint, everything leaders need to soar. Here you'll see each section is built out with the timing needed for that segment, the activity, the purpose, and really important, the links for each segment and those materials. If you zoom in on segment 1, down there at the bottom, our school and department's why. There's a link to the planner that explains this section, a menu of protocols buildings and departments may use to lead their participants, and all of these segments have slides prepared that departments and buildings can tailor with their personalized data, providing that context. Dr. Saltzman works behind the scenes developing a video that welcomes all staff and sets our purpose for the day. These supports are carefully designed to unite us in our common vision and focus.
With Dr. Salzman's support, this year, equity was our focus. School buildings and departments started the day by grounding their learning through data. After that, they spent a large segment of the morning engaged in exploring the new culturally responsive customer service handbook. You might remember that as a big project last year of the strategic plan, E3 strategic plan. You saw this handbook in development last year. Discussion protocols elevated the essence of this handbook by delving in perspectives of different stakeholders, such as our multilingual learner families and families that have students with a disability. One participant shared, and I quote, "The most powerful piece of learning I had today was reflecting on making our school a welcoming culture and climate for all families. Greet them with a smile and be an active listener," unquote. Here, you'll see that one way buildings enrich those discussions is through panels. The panels either were students, families, or staff. Mimi is going to highlight one that was very important part of this day.
I have permission from this paraeducator from Jefferson Elementary, and you see her here in the lower corner sharing her story. She highlighted her family's journey, entering a new school system in a new country. It really brought context to the focus on culturally responsive customer service. She especially thanked each staff member that supported them. One teacher that made sure that there were Filipino items in the prize box said her child ran home that day feeling represented, seen, and connected. She shared her own journey of being an immigrant. Her words gave personalized context for that school, again with our common focus. I was there, I was inspired, and I know Jefferson staff was too. In the afternoon, instructional staff dug deeper into equity themes in the updated Danielson framework for teaching, which is not just used for evaluation, but it's really a roadmap for high-quality instruction. Here you'll see teachers engaged in high-leverage instructional practices. They were doing it themselves. In regards to this segment, one participant shared, "I loved the teaching strategy examples. Getting us learning in a fun way was a great example for my own teaching." At the close of the day, participants collectively built action steps to support their students and their community. This day is really about a common vision, engaging in learning ourselves so we can plan actions that impact each one of our 20,592 amazing students and community.
Because together we inspire, achieve, and thrive.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this. And again, Wi-Fi problems here. So any questions or comments?
Just a quick comment. Fantastic as always. I was really excited when we saw the draft last year of the handbook, the culturally responsive handbook, and it's fantastic that it's getting out there and getting used. Is that going to go up on the website? Is that publicly available? What are the thoughts on that? Eventually. Okay. Okay. No,
We
that's
got
terrific.
stakeholder feedback
Right.
to add revisions.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
Are there any other comments or questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. This takes us to the next section, which we had a prelude to a little bit ago with our guest speaker. Mr. Holford, would you like to talk about the Everett Station District Alliance Partnership? Or is it, yeah, presenter is Christopher, yeah.
All right, good evening, Board of Directors, President Mitchell and Dr. Saltzman. It's my pleasure tonight to come to you to talk a little bit about the Everett Station District Alliance Partnership in this spotlight. Before we get started, I just want to lay a little groundwork. Sorry. I just want to lay the foundation for this work. This partnership is really important because we have a growing need in our school district. As you can see here in our slide from our 24-25 school year, we had 1,482 students who qualified for our Kids in Transition program. So this student population is made up of students experiencing some level of homelessness and are identified through our McKinney-Vento program, as well as students who are in foster care, including unaccompanied homeless youth. So those are students who do not have a legal parent or guardian while attending school here in Everett Public Schools. This is a population that has continued to grow over the last several years. We start each school year with about 1,100 students, and as the school year progresses, our staff who works with our KIT population continues to identify students and families that are experiencing some level of homelessness. And we continue to try to provide supports for them. As you can see here, when we look across our system at all of our schools, there's no school that's immune from this problem that we face with students experiencing homelessness. And we know that this is a barrier to their learning. And so we are continuously seeking opportunities to partner with community organizations to help remove some of these barriers so that our students can attend school and be able to fully attend without these barriers limiting their access to their education. And that's why this important partnership opportunity has been presented to us with the Everett Station District Alliance, who is truly seeking to build strong relationships in the community, and most importantly, providing a great place to live, work, and play, and supporting human health and resilience. So what does this project entail? So they are looking to build an affordable housing project with 58 units, providing housing for residents earning 30 to 60% of the median income. Included in these units will also be 15 units dedicated to families with school-aged children. This facility will be located in our service area of Jackson Elementary, North Middle School, and Everett High School. The timeline for this project, so we, in the fall of 2025, have begun our conversations with the Everett Station District Alliance and with Mr. Peterson. We're grateful for this opportunity to continue to build a relationship with them as this project unfolds. So they're currently in the early financing process, which includes requesting the request to local public jurisdictions, which have dedicated affordable housing funds eligible for these types of projects. They're seeking additional funding applications, and in this process of these additional funds requires that partnership with a community school district, and we are fortunate here in Everett to be able to partner with them in this process. So once the funding is awarded, the Everett Station District Alliance will develop the continued scope and timeline of this project with the goal to open this project close to the 2028 school year, where we will be able to continue our partnership with them. This project will provide an opportunity for collaboration with the Everett Public Schools, and it's truly going to be supporting our families. And the other desire with this project is to partner with our youth training programs in the construction field. So it'll be a multifaceted process that we'll continue to have conversations around what this looks like as we move through the project. Again, this will benefit us because we will be able to refer our families through our family resource centers. We have a current memorandum of understanding with with Madrona Square. And this project will most likely look very similar, where we have the opportunity to refer families who are experiencing homelessness so that they can become housed, and our students, again, can fully access their education without the barriers and limitations that they may have as they're experiencing homelessness. And so we're really excited about these 15 units that we can provide for our families and for families with children here in Everett Public Schools. We'll continue to share updates as this project gets closer to initiation and completion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and what a great opportunity for our families and our district. Are there any questions or comments?
I'll jump in. Wow, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you all working on this in partnership and the community organizers behind it. This just makes so much sense to me. And, but I recognize that there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes. So that's first of all, but curious about Madrona Square. And were there any lessons learned from that experience that maybe we can bring forward?
Yeah, we have lots of lessons that we've learned throughout that process. The most important thing with the relationship, though, it continues to be we're able to refer families. Although we don't provide housing, which is the biggest lesson we've learned, is the message in the community that Everett Public Schools provides housing. We've been able to clarify that, but we do have an opportunity to refer families to these facilities. And having these partnerships and having an understanding of when there's openings, availability, and being able to support families in the process is what's been really meaningful. And we're looking to continue to build those meaningful relationships and partnerships as we move forward with this project.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other comments or questions?
Okay, I'll ask a question that just came to my mind. So you talked a lot about partnership. How does Everett Public Schools help? How do we help?
So we're going to continue to develop what that partnership looks like with the Everett Station District Alliance. One of the ways that we help is really working through the referral process, what that looks like, how we partner, how we can support one another as we go through the process. The other way we're looking to develop is how this can work with our vocational programming and seeing how that partnership can unfold. So we're in the very beginning of our conversations in this project, and we're excited to see where it will take us.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments, including Director Adkins?
Yeah, I just wanted to say how happy I am to see this partnership moving along, and just really glad to see additional efforts being made to build partnerships to make sure our families experiencing homelessness are housed and cared for.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All All right, well, thank you, Mr. Fulford. And thank you, Mr. Peterson, again, if you're still in the room. That takes us to section 14.0, unfinished business. There's none for this meeting, which takes us to section 15.0, new business. There's none for this meeting, which takes us to section 16.0, upcoming agenda items. Dr. Saltzman, would you please introduce the 4 upcoming agenda items?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, and to the Board of Directors, students, and the public this evening. At the October 29th special meeting, directors will attend the school-based health center ribbon cutting ceremony at Cascade High School. At October 30th special meeting, directors will attend the school-based health center ribbon cutting at Everett High School. At the November 13th special meeting, the Board of General will contain and the superintendent's evaluation. At the November 18th meeting, the November 10th regular meeting, the board will contain the following: the annual student data presentation, the NJROTC presentation of the colors, 2 recognitions, the first for the National Merit Scholar finalists, and the second for the core value champions, which will be for learning, the 4th quarter financial report and enrollment update, the legislative priorities, the ballot pro and con committee, the highly capable program grant, the Homeless Student Stability Educational Program Grant, Sequoia High School Mechanical Call for Bids, and the August Financial Report. Thank you, Madam Chair, Board of Directors, and the public and students this evening.
Thank you. That takes us to section 17.0, executive or closed session. There is none for this meeting, which takes us to section 18.0, adjournment. This hereby adjourns the October 28th regular meeting of the Everett Public Schools Board of Directors. And I hope everyone has a wonderful evening.